You guys pointed out actually on your Granite Gaming stream that New Hampshire generally votes blue. You'll see in elections the actual popular vote leaning Democratic. You'll have a lot more blue votes, and yet you have a lot more capture of the state house, which is, I want to point out, the largest state house in the country, and actually, I think it's either number two or number three largest in the world. So it's important to consider the capture of seats in a political sense.
It's really interesting. Like you said, New Hampshire has the largest state legislature in the country. There are 400 seats for just the House alone. There's 24 Senate seats. We have a 5-member executive council, which basically acts as the lieutenant governor you would see in other states. And then we, of course, have a governor. And so you look at past elections, years like 2022, 2020, we saw Democrats win the popular vote for those legislative bodies. So Democrats, I think in 2022, won roughly like 51% of the popular vote, both the House and the Senate. And then you saw Republicans actually take the majority in those seats because the seats in the House are gerrymandered. And then in the state Senate, it's even worse. I think Democrats won like 51% of the vote, 50 something percent of the vote, a little more than a majority. And then Republicans, I think, took 60% of the seats, something outrageous, right? And then the executive council is even worse. Republicans, I think it was another 50-50 split, and Republicans took 80% of the seats. New Hampshire has been gerrymandered for a very, very long time, and Republicans are trying to gerrymander it even further. And this is one of the insidious things about gerrymandering, that it can happen and then exist for so long, and you forget how unfair things actually are, how corrupt, like you live in institutional corruption for so long. Institutional corruption just becomes the mundane everyday life. It becomes the baseline. And then Republicans come forward and they say they want to gerrymander again because they are able to convince the public that we live in a normal society, that things are normal now.
Right, it's
And
like
that's
a frog in a boiling pot kind of analogy type thing.
right. Yeah. And the frog is at this point, a soupy foam at the top of the pot. And the Republicans are basically saying turn the heat up even more.